Hey, how was your trip?
Excuse me? What trip?
You know, your little extended vacation.
I I didn't go on a vacation. I didn't. Coming home was the hardest part of my abroad experience. I simply could not make people understand what it was like to be abroad for 4 months. And understandably so. I traveled to 7 countries and I made it into 8 regions within Italy. My experience over my time in Milan was incredibly plastic and dynamic. Furthermore, I went on some of the most incredible trips in my first month. But everything I was seeing kinda seemed superficial. I still felt like a glorified tourist. The second month came around, and I started to fall into a routine. I had good days and I had bad days. I started to beat myself up over not getting a new experience every single day. I felt like I was wasting my time abroad, but I didn't know what to do about it. After developing enough competence in Italian to describe how I was feeling, my jazz improvisation teacher, Professor Collot, gave me the most life changing advice I've ever received. He said that I just needed to put more of the character of Italy and Milan itself into my music. He said I needed not to just see the culture, but experience it in my soul. To do that, he had me read the journal of Joseph Carl Braille, a famous American opera singer who studied opera in Milan in the late 19th century. I spent a month following in Braille's footsteps, and, in doing so, truly found the spirit of Milan. I recall my first day in Milan. Seeing the Duomo for the first time
Gave me incredible chills. As I caught sight of that great machine, the rest of the city beheld the topography of a plain. The Duomo rose alone out of that desert. I stood there, forgot my troubles, and gazed at the eighth wonder of the world that my mother had so often told me about.
I look at my clock and I see that it's just 11:32 p.m. Prime time to be alone in my room with my laptop, wondering when I stopped living in the now and present, locked away in my private heaven.
15th day in Milan, February 1887. My teacher, Giuseppe del Puente, makes me see the operas at Teatro alla Scala almost every night. The great Giuseppe Verdi has made his return to Milan, and last night premiered his new work, Otello. It really is an incredible opera, but it feels like I am wasting all of my time just sitting here every single night. However, Professor Puente continuously tells me that listening is the best form of practice, for that is how I will truly find my music. 34th day in Milan. Puente told me that he doesn't experience enough of the city in my music. Apparently, the best inspiration is that which comes from our culture. Whatever that is supposed to mean. When I compose, music is simple math. It is proper combinations to create harmonious and pleasing melodic structure. There is only so much emotion you can put onto a piece of paper.
Say I'll fix you. And every time that I talk to you, I feel that
I have now been in Milan for over 2.5 months. Puente's mother passed away almost 2 weeks ago. We were all devastated as we laid her into the Cimitero Monumentale. Today, I looked back on a piece I wrote right after the funeral, and it made me cry. Not the memory, but the music itself. I can't believe that I was so thick. I had to experience tragedy to realize that I was wrong the whole time, and Puente was right. Music isn't a math game. Music is an audible manifestation of intangible emotion, whether I want it to be or not. Everything Puente said about taking the character of Milan to my music finally makes sense. And my God, this city really is an encyclopedia on character itself. A beating organ of character.
My tour through Joseph Braille's notebook really was transformative, and shortly after that, my real family from Minnesota came to visit. I was nervous to have my host family meet my real family. I thought it would be awkward, but it wasn't at all, because they both had something to share. Both of my families had seen me grow in tremendous ways. It was this moment that I realized that I would never feel at home again, because there would always be some other place that I longed for. However, in this moment, I also knew that I would never feel alone again, because I knew that I could make myself a home anywhere in the world. There really is no place like home.
We'd be happy, yes we would. Yes we would.